Hello, everyone. I'm Chris.
And this is Milton with the Sports Truth.
The truth will set you free.
The 2021 NFL Draft is now in the books. We are going to let you know who aced the test and who bombed and who had some questionable picks.
Yeah.
Before I get to my top 5 teams that drafted the best, I'm going to give a shout out to some of these other teams based on choosing one player that'll make a big difference for them. I can't think of any other team to go with to start this off than the Bears.
The Bears.
Yeah, they smartly moved up and picked Justin Fields, who many think was the best quarterback outside of Trevor Lawrence. It always starts with the quarterback and the coach as the nucleus of any good team. So Bears fans, you have something to look forward to besides Andy Dalton. There is a future. Who knows? Justin Fields might be the best quarterback that the Bears have had since Sid Luckman.
Rex Grossman. You got it. 2006. Come on. Got to shout him out.
Oh, no.
4,000 plus yards.
I mean, Rex Grossman is a former Gator, so there's some Gator love for him. But as a pro, I can't believe that he made it.
Season.
That he made it to the Super Bowl. It goes to show you if you have an amazing defense, there's a good chance that you can get to the Super Bowl with some luck involved. Another one is the Falcons. They got the best player in the draft, Kyle Pitts. We'll see if he lives up to the expectations.
And the hype.
And the hype, yes. Yeah. Wide receiver / tight end. I'm sure Matt Ryan is elated, thank you,
no problem.
for this pick instead of getting a quarterback to maybe replace him. The Falcons are a little bit of a mystery because they're a little bit in salary cap hell. So you would think, okay, we got Kyle Pitts lined up, we got Julio Jones, we got Calvin Ridley. Let's go out there, do the run and shoot, and score 35 points a game, even though the defense is probably going to give up 38 points a game. But there's this talk of trying to unload Julio Jones due to cap reasons. So I don't know which direction the Falcons are going. Are they going to go all in and try to do what they can with their offense, or are they going to get rid of some pieces and sort of be a mess? You never know what you're getting with the Falcons.
The Dirty Birds.
The Dirty Birds. We're going to have to sit back and see what happens. Another one is the Steelers with Najee Harris. It's going to help out Big Ben big time. He already has his wide receiving weapons in Chase Claypool and Juju Smith-Schuster. Oh, yeah. That's say that 5 times.
It's a tongue twister. Yeah.
It is a tongue twister. So from what I've seen with Najee Harris, I think it's
pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a perfect
Le'Veon
fit for
Bell-esque,
them. Yeah, definitely Le'Veon Bell has even been compared to
Harris. Yeah.
To Franco Harris. Right, the Pittsburgh guy.
Yeah,
I think they're the same weight, same
G.
height.
Harris.
Yeah. I mean, I think the Steelers still have a lot of issues, like their offensive line. I'm not sure how well Najee Harris is going to help them if their offensive line is a mess due to retirement, free agent loss. So we'll have to.
It's okay. Barry Sanders got all those yards.
That is true,
line.
But Barry Sanders is a generational talent. Yeah. Another one are the Eagles, who jumped up in front of, was it the Cowboys or Giants?
I think it was the Cowboys.
Cowboys, right. Yeah. And got Devontae Smith, the Heisman winner.
I think, he won.
Yeah. Amazing receiver. There's a knock on him that he's a little too skinny.
166 or something, like, come on.
Yeah. But the way the NFL's changed the rules in the last several years, the safeties aren't coming across the middle, Ronnie Lott style, and decleating people anymore.
Yeah, they'll get flagged. Yep.
They'll get flagged. I don't think Devontae Smith would survive in
60s NFL.
60s, 70s,
destroyed.
even 80s and 90s would make his career very short. Yes.
Pun intended.
And last but not least, the Chiefs. They didn't have a draft pick, but they used their 31st pick, gave that to the Ravens, and in turn the Ravens gave them Orlando Brown Jr., one of the best left tackles in the game, because they didn't want to pay them. I'm sure they're getting ready to pay Lamar Jackson,
A big
a
salary.
boatload
Yeah.
of money that's coming up. We'll have to see. Okay, so going on to the top 5 teams that had the best draft. No particular order. First, I'm going to go with the Browns. They picked up Greg Newsome the second, and somehow the linebacker Owusu Koromoa fell to them. So essentially, like they got 2 first-round draft picks in the first round. 5 of their 7 first picks went to defense. The Browns buy stock in them. They, I believe, have a top 5 offense. And the way they've been rebuilding the defense, I'd say a top 10 defense as well.
Enough for a Super Bowl run, right?
Definitely a Super Bowl run. I mean, I think they're the biggest threat to the Chiefs in the AFC.
Really?
Yes.
Even over the Bills.
Yes, and I'm going to tell you why.
All right.
The Bills are still a running back short of being a complete team. I thought that they would address that in the draft. I mean, I know they couldn't get Najee Harris or Travis Etienne, but there's some other good running backs that they could have had that would make all the difference in the world. But, you know, I mean, obviously the Chiefs are still the team to beat in the AFC, but the Browns and Bills is like 1 and 1A, you know. So, I mean, I'd buy stock in both of them. The second one are the Jets. The combination of Robert Saleh and the GM, they nailed this draft. To start off with a team, you need the centerpiece, which is the quarterback, Zach Wilson. Right after that, their first 4 picks went to offense. And with that, they got Vera Tucker, the best guard in the draft. And every good quarterback needs some weapons. They got themselves wide receiver Elijah Moore. And they got a home run of a threat in running back Michael Carter from North Carolina. So they got themselves a top 5 running back. They got some protection for Zach Wilson and some weapons. This is a building process, but beware of the Jets messing up your brackets as far as pick'ems. Is that what it's called? Like when you...
Yeah, and also they're a young team, so when they get a little bit older, more mature, I'd be scared of them.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'd be scared of them this year, you know.
Yeah.
They're not going to the playoffs, but
They'll play spoiler.
they will play spoiler. So like I mentioned earlier, their 4 first picks went all to the offense, best guard, exciting wide receivers and running backs with talent and speed. And then the next 6 draft picks went to defense, which is Robert Saleh.
That's a specialty, right?
That is his specialty.
So you give them an A grade?
Yeah, oh, definitely. I mean, if you make my top 5, you're getting an A grade.
Okay.
Yeah, so the Browns,
Yeah.
Jets, A. Yes.
Okay.
This next one, I might be a little bit biased, being a Niner fan, you know. But
Warning.
the 49ers had all 49er fans on suicide watch saying that they were going to get Mac Jones. They were going to give up 2 future first-round picks when they could have got him where they were at 12.
Smokescreen.
Yeah, smokescreen. I got to give it up to you, Chris. You called it.
Yep.
I wish I would have listened to you, so I wouldn't have had sleepless nights.
Yep.
But
you
in
learned
thi-
something.
In this draft, they got 2 Treys. The Trey Lance, which I believe is a better Kaepernick.
Yeah, I could get that.
Yeah, I
Better
mean,
Kaepernick,
tall, lanky, could
and runs.
run like the wind, a gun for an arm, and the other Trey is Trey Sermon. So the other day I was at work, and so I couldn't see the draft to the second and third day, and I was thinking, oh, I wonder who got Trey Sermon. I look, and I thought, oh my God, he went to the Niners. Trey Sermon was the engine that fueled the Ohio State Buckeyes and was a big reason that they beat the Clemson Tigers, or Trevor Lawrence's Clemson Tigers.
Yeah.
Yeah. But in the national championship, I think they would have at least been able to stay with Alabama. I'm not sure if they beat them, but Trey Sermon was injured early. He, on 3rd and inches, 4th and goal. I mean, give it to Trey Sermon. He is a freight train, and I just love what I saw, and I'm so stoked that the Niners got him. So along with the 2 Treys, one at quarterback and one at running back, the Niners loaded up on the offensive line. They picked up some nice corner and safety. So overall, I think that they filled in some of the needs that they had. So, like I said, a little bit biased being a Niners fan.
So it's an A for bias, but it's really like a B plus from a Cardinal fan.
Yeah. I'll give the Niners like that A minus.
Yeah, A
like
minus. There we go.
B plus. I'm a big fan of the B plus.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah. A minus.
It's a little much. That's the
little
bias wipers coming in.
Right. At number 4, surprisingly, I have the Chargers on here.
Really?
Yes, I do. I think they nailed their first couple picks. They drafted Rashawn Slater, who I think was the best offensive tackle in the draft. I mean, a lot of other people were saying Penei Sewell, but,
Solid pick.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, so you got a left tackle to protect your prized asset, which is Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
And then with the 2nd round pick, I love that they picked Asante Samuels Jr. If that name sounds familiar, it's because his dad was Asante Samuels. He played for a couple teams, but the main one I remember is the Eagles.
Yeah, it's the Eagles, yeah.
Eagles. So the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. If someone like Derwin James, I think he's missed 28 of 32 games, and he's usually gone before the season even starts.
If he stays healthy, though, look out for that Chargers secondary.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Especially with someone like Brandon Staley at the helm, and they give a lot of the credit to Telesco for making these picks, but I'm sure that Brandon Staley had his hand in these picks.
Oh, definitely.
And I don't want to leave out edge rusher Chris Rump from Duke Blue Devils. I guess he's supposed to replace Melvin Ingram, who's been somewhat of a disappointment. He came in with all these expectations.
Got injured.
Didn't
live up to it.
Yeah. So I value what Louis Riddick says, and he said that Brandon Staley is a superstar in the making. And if there's any indication of taking the Rams from middle of the pack defense with essentially the same players the next year and then having them ranked number 1, I think that Brandon Staley can do the same for the Chargers.
And he doesn't have to go that far either.
What do you mean?
They share the same stadium.
Oh, yeah, they do. That's true. I didn't even think about that. Wow, that's so obvious.
I'm going to move offices. He just steps over one door over. All right. He's going to wave at him. See ya.
What's your take on Brandon Staley? Or do you sort of feel like how Louis Riddick feels, how I feel, how other Charger fans feel?
Wait and see. I mean, every time they get a new coach, I brace myself because I remember the PTSD of Norv Turner.
Oh, yeah. Nervous
Turner. Run up the middle for 1 yard gain Turner.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
with LT, by the way.
That's where being an offensive coordinator is one thing, and being a coach is completely different.
He should have stayed an offensive coordinator.
Absolutely. So every time the Chargers have come in with a new coach,
I cringe.
Yeah, Mike McCoy, Anthony Lynn, who needed
Still can't
an
coach
Apple
your
Watch.
daughters.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Soccer team.
Not even the
Pee-wee.
The Pee-wee where all the soccer kids are like, what do they call that? Bunching up or
huddling up or whatever.
Yeah.
No.
And there's no goalie there. No.
Yeah.
Sorry, dude. You're not even giving me
Have fun on the
Lions. Yeah, exactly. And last but not least are the Dolphins. They've been doing this for a couple years. In 2 years, they went from being one of the worst teams ever.
The
laughing stock. But one of those worst teams ever covered 3 double-digit underdog. Or they were an underdog in...
Yeah. Still covered.
And they still covered.
Theoretically.
Against good teams. These are playoff teams that they beat. They weren't beating... Give me a bad team.
They weren't beating the Jets?
The Jets. There you go. I know.
Yeah, exactly.
We can't think that way anymore.
No, not anymore.
Yeah, I mean, these Jets, they've been bad for probably the past decade. They are on the rise. If Rex Ryan could bring him back to relevance and take him to 2 AFC championships, then I believe that Robert Saleh is going to do the same.
Yeah, the AFC East, dude.
He's already transforming this team. I mean, he picked the right quarterback, gave him some weapons, made a whole bunch of picks on defense, went through free agency to plug in some holes. So
and he's not
I'm a big fan of Robert Saleh.
He's not Gates.
And I don't appreciate him stealing Mike LaFleur. That's Matt LaFleur's brother.
Yeah.
They're essentially going to run a similar offense to the 49ers. So
just on the East Coast.
Just on the East Coast,
just
exactly.
Add a little lobster.
I'm cheering for him, and I hope he does well. All right, now that I've touched... Oh, yeah, I want to go over teams. What were you thinking?
Oh, yeah, the Fs, right? We give them F, right?
Yeah.
F grade.
Yeah, I would probably give all these teams
an F.
Not a passing grade, okay?
Okay, D.
I don't think...
D minus.
I know, D is sort of so insulting.
In high school, you pass. When in college, get a D. Oh no,
because
you don't
like
get any
F, like you're a complete failure. D is like
give him a D.
Yeah, so there's something about
Something
worse about getting a D than an F. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, it means you were close, but
yeah, I don't know. You know.
Yeah, kind of like the Niners in the third quarter of the Super Bowl against the Chiefs. Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay. That's the past. We're moving on to the future. Okay, and I would probably cry if you said that if Mac Jones was the quarterback.
I know.
Yeah, and going back to the 49ers,
right.
It was such a big deal, and I think a lot of Niner fans were on edge because this pick was going to have reverberations for the next couple of years.
Repercussions for the next 3 years. Easy.
Yes, yeah. Thank you for using a better word. Yeah, so so by choosing Trey Lance and some of the other picks, the future looks bright. And what I would do if I was running the 49ers, which I should, you know,
yeah, I don't fan run.
Yeah, I mean, no one knows I've been 40 years of 49er love following this team. Okay, all these other Kyle Shanahan, Johnny come lately, you know. I mean, he was probably a kid when his dad was running Steve Young's 94-95 team that destroyed your Chargers.
My Cardinals. I'm talking about.
Okay.
Just because I like the Chargers.
Yeah. So this is what I wanted to say. So I would start Jimmy Garoppolo so you don't put all that pressure on Trey Lance, because a lot of times coaches throw him in and they're not ready.
And then Zavon Williamson will pick him off, and then he'll get benched.
Who?
Yo, my linebacker for the Cardinals. He'll pick him up twice, get him benched, and then have your wish.
How are they gonna pick him off when they're just gonna be running?
No.
Down
They're gonna try to play hero like Russell Wilson Super Bowl.
Well, you know what? I hope that your Cardinals pick off the 49ers, Garoppolo a couple
3
times,
or 4
so
times
Trey Lance
could
come in. But what I would do is I would start Jimmy Garoppolo, see how long he lasts, but I would have special packages for Trey Lance. If they're not doing well or they are doing well, just throw him in there, a goal line package, see what he could do.
Or preseason.
Or yeah, definitely.
If he plays better than Garoppolo in preseason.
Well, you know, I would still, and maybe Niner fans don't like this, but I would still start Jimmy Garoppolo, and then you have special packages, like I said, for Trey Lance. If you see what you like, then maybe it's the best of both worlds. Well, we'll have to see. I'm looking forward to the preseason for that.
So you give Niners a D if they had Mac Jones instead of Trey Lance?
Oh, yeah, because it's not only would this season be over, but the next couple...
3 or 4.
Yeah, I mean... I wouldn't even know if I had the heart to keep doing this podcast. I don't know if I'd have the heart to keep watching football.
We speak the truth here.
Yeah,
the sports truth.
Absolutely. I mean, the euphoria I had, and my cousin's a big 49er fan too. I mean, oh my God, if they could bottle that up and sell it, whew,
like a fortune.
Pharmaceutical
I called
companies
it too.
would make. Yeah,
I said, watch you get Trey Lance. I even texted you that, and I'm like, watch Trey Lance.
Yeah.
Immediately when Trey Lance, you started jumping up and down.
I think Shanahan knew that if he made that pick and things went wrong, that it would be essentially the end of his 49er career. I'm pretty sure. I mean, from what I understand, the brass was big. The 49er brass was big on Trey Lance. And John Lynch, he is a leader of men, and I'm pretty sure he was able to, because they have a great relationship. We always talk about the quarterback coach relationship.
Yeah.
What's definitely important, if the nucleus is made of protons and neutrons,
Yes,
that
it
electron floating around might be
Yes.
that GM,
Yes.
because sometimes they could screw it up, or sometimes they can be on the same wavelengths as the coaches, and when you get that, you have a very successful organization. Okay, so we're going back to 5 teams that what were they thinking?
D-.
Okay, yeah, exactly. These are failing grades. First, I have the Bengals, which are always on this type of list.
The Bungles.
The Bungles. Dude, in fantasy football, you don't draft a kicker, and in the NFL draft, you don't draft a kicker. Okay.
And what do? You drafted a kicker.
They drafted a kicker. Yeah. It's like drafting a punter. I mean, I don't know. I'm just not.
Don't make me get Pat McAfee on here. He'll kick your butt.
So we'll see. They never end up doing well anyways, So I don't know what the hell they were thinking.
So a kicker. Okay.
Yeah, a kicker. Okay. The Raiders, first round pick. You can go any direction. Fill up your offensive line. Get some more offensive weapons for Derek Carr. Maybe fix that crappy defense that you have.
And what do?
No, they go with Alex Leatherwood, which sounds like a football name. I'll give him that much. But first round pick when he's probably more of a second day pick. So, and they've done this before where they've drafted a person in the first round ahead of where they should be. This is a repetitive.
They're just making sure they get what they wanted.
Yeah, I understand that, but it's like Alex Leatherwood. I think he was ranked like 8th or 9th left tackle. The first couple tackles, like Penei Sewell, Christian Darrisaw of the Vikings, and of course the Chargers pick of. Help me out here.
Yeah, I don't recall that.
Oh yeah, let me look it up here.
Yeah, but like, it's a.
Oh yeah,
Raiders
Rashawn
thing.
Slater.
Yeah, it's a Raiders thing. They have their draft board. Like, we want this person back.
It's
okay.
Mike Mayock. I mean,
make sure we get them. So like, okay, draft them early.
Mike Mayock is an awesome draft analysis, but then something happens when you turn into a GM. Maybe you overthink it. Maybe you don't want to be wrong because there's something on the line. Who knows?
Or he's actually top 3 and we don't know. You never know if they actually start playing.
Remember
the Chargers Ryan Leaf? Oh yeah, he's so great in college. He's gonna be great in the NFL.
I know. You know what? I was one of those guys that thought he was because I saw him at Washington State in a bowl game, and I was like, this guy is the next coming of plug in whoever you want.
But we all know who the real one was, Peyton Manning.
Oh yeah,
that draft.
For sure. Next on this list are the Texans. They didn't have any first round draft picks because they traded them all away.
Mm-hmm.
So their first pick was in the 3rd round, and they went with a quarterback named Davis Mills, a very statuesque type quarterback.
Or Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, for Deshaun Watson, even though they said, oh no, we didn't do it for that reason. But
sure.
And then, if you're going to choose somebody, I mean, I don't know. I've never even heard this guy, Davis Mills, and I probably watch as much college football as,
Maybe it's just an insult to Watson, trying to make him leave.
Oh, that whole thing is just a dumpster fire.
Yeah, we're not going to touch it right now.
Another one are the Packers. What should they have done?
Offensive weapons for Rodgers.
Right? A nice number 2 wide receiver instead of getting the quarterback Jordan Love last year. This year they went for a reach and got Eric Stokes, a cornerback. I'm sure he's a decent...
He's not stoked. Rodgers ain't stoked, that's for sure.
Rodgers is pissed right now.
Oh, I know.
He basically wants the GM of the Packers fired. That's basically the only way he'll come back.
Don't the fans own the Packers? Like, don't they all have a little stock?
Yeah, they
stock
do.
Holding in it. Why can't they get rid of the GM? Don't they have a say? They're the last team, by the way, that's owned by the fans.
I know, that is an interesting fact.
Yeah, why isn't the GM then fired?
I have no idea.
I'm sure most fans love Rodgers over this GM.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Cheeseheads everywhere.
Yeah, fire the GM, keep the quarterback.
Yeah.
So either he's going to be traded to another team, or he's going to sit out the season, or he's reluctantly going to play. Now, last year he had a chip on his shoulder. Some people call it a boulder, and he had an MVP season, 48 touchdowns. and a trip to the NFC Championship in back-to-back years. But when you're playing with a chip on the shoulders, that's one thing. But if you're playing angry, the emotion of anger messes with all rationale, and it's going to be ugly. Okay, so Packers fans, I feel bad for you. Okay,
I prayed for you.
I can't believe the night of the draft, or the day of the draft, there was talk of the Packers trading Rodgers to the 49ers for the third pick and some players and some future compensation. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, I went from having Mac Jones as our quarterback for the next however many years of destitute, but
to Rodgers suddenly being on your team for 3 or 4 years.
Yeah. But I'm happy with Trey Lance. But hey, it's just funny. In one moment, I'm crying because Mac Jones is going to be the pick, and then it's going to be Aaron Rodgers, and then it was Trey Lance. So how fortunes change very quickly.
A roller coaster of emotions, up and down.
Absolutely.
Six Flags of emotions.
You don't want to go on that. You know what? I went on a roller coaster recently. We went for my daughter's birthday to Belmont Park. Oh my God, that roller coaster. It's very like Coney Island, wooden one. Man, if you sit way in the back, that's where you get the biggest whip.
Yeah, the G-force. Yeah.
The G-force, yeah.
Is that your Jimmy G-force there when you heard Mac Jones and suddenly Rodgers and Trey Lance, right? Up and down.
Oh yeah,
Whipped around.
Definitely. So. Oh, okay. And then my last team on here, and it's not because I hate them, but it's the Seahawks.
You hate them.
I do. You're right. They're the new Giants or the new Cowboys. I hate the Seahawks. They traded away 2 future first round picks for Jamal Adams. I know Jamal Adams is probably the best safety, but it sounds more like quarterback compensation. How do you get 3 picks in the draft? What, you traded your second and your third and your fifth? I've never seen a team have 3 picks. So
I don't know.
That's sort of, and they did need help, that offensive line to protect Russell Wilson, some defenders to go along with Bobby Wagner and Jamal Adams, who are the best at their positions, right?
Yeah,
or at least
you could argue with that.
Yeah, you could.
Top 2 or 3, yeah.
Top 3.
Top 3. Yeah.
Okay, top. Right.
Yeah. Arguably, yes.
Right. All right. Now that we've covered that,
all the D's.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Now we are moving on to 5 random questions.
Oh, yay!
All right. We'll start out with some simple stuff, and then we'll make it more complicated.
Oh, come on, man.
That's okay. So far, you've done well answering. Okay.
And
then I will let you know if you got all the right answers.
In your opinion, yeah.
Well,
we've gone over this before.
You know how the truth is so important to me.
Oh, the truth. That's what it's called, the sports truth.
The sports truth,
yeah.
Right. So what I say is gospel, okay? No, I'm kidding. Okay. All right.
Okay.
First of all, what's your favorite candy bar?
My favorite candy bar? Reese's Peanut Butter Cups.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Nice. Yeah, you can't.
I have a soft spot for peanut butter and chocolate.
Saying
Reese's.
that, yesterday I had these ones. Have you had Muddy Buddies?
Yes.
Oh, those are so good.
Those are good
with
too.
The powder and the chocolate.
Exactly.
And there isn't like too much peanut butter, because sometimes when you have too much peanut butter.
Just right.
Yeah.
Just like Reese's, just the right amount of peanut butter.
Right. And you know what? I like those when it's the holidays and they turn into eggs or trees. Like there's like a different formula to them. Like they put a little bit more chocolate on it. I don't know what it is, but I prefer those over the peanut butter cups. But those are also...
yeah, the Reese's eggs are really good.
And if you ever want to watch a show that deals with how Reese's Reese's Peanut Butter Cup.
Reese's, yeah.
And Hershey's and what was the other one? I forget what... Oh, Baby Ruth, yeah. Watch the food that built America.
Really?
Some history, some food.
Oh, perfect history.
Right, history,
I like
food,
history.
Sports, all that stuff, those are all like just great topics.
So yeah, if you want to bribe me, just send me some Reese's.
Okay.
I'll do what you want. Yeah.
Did I get you that for
Secret Santa.
Secret Santa?
Yeah, you did.
I did.
Yeah,
Okay,
you got me.
cool.
See?
Okay,
You
all
already
right.
knew this
There you
answer.
go.
Come on. These are rigged questions. Viewers.
Isn't that when I
Rigged.
told you that the supervisor, Linda,
Yeah.
was going to be your
Yeah,
Secret Santa?
yeah. You tricked me, and I was like, "Oh, this is terrible. She's gonna give me like one thing off my list."
She's going to
I
give
was
you
super
a
depressed.
treat from Salvador.
Yeah,
San
great.
Salvador.
Yeah, wonderful.
Okay. Besides Jesus, it's okay. It's all right. Whose murder has made the most impact on history? I'll give you a little bit of time to think about it.
Oh man, whose murder has made the most impact on history?
Yeah, because I mean, if I would have said that without Jesus, then you could have just gone straight to him, right? I mean, changed
right.
religion.
Man, most impact on history?
Yeah.
Man, that's hard.
Okay. Do you want me to come back to it?
No, I'm trying to find his exact name.
Okay.
The Tsar. I'm trying to remember his name.
Oh, Franz Ferdinand. Oh no! You're
For
thinking
World War One. The guy World War One.
Yeah, Franz Ferdinand. They
think it is.
assassinated him.
And then started World War One.
And started World War
Yes,
One, which
because
eventually
World War
led
II
to World War
is
II.
an extension of World War
Okay,
One. So
yeah.
yes, I think
You know what?
that is.
That is the right answer.
Oh, thank you. Wow,
It goes
guys, I did
Jesus,
it.
and then it goes Franz
Franz
Ferdinand.
Ferdinand.
Maybe Lincoln. You
Maybe
know?
Lincoln.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
Wow, guys, I got it.
Yeah, good
Proud
job.
of myself. Pat on the back.
This one is a two-part question.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Think Del Mar Fair.
Okay.
What's your favorite food fair? One, you got to start out with a meal, and then two, you go to dessert later on. You know, because that's what you do.
my
You go on the
favorite food fair.
rides.
Oh yeah.
You could care less about the pigs and all
corn
that stinky
dogs.
stuff. Corn dogs? Okay.
Easily giant corn
Oh,
dogs.
for sure.
Yeah, the giant ones, and you could put ketchup and mustard on them.
Oh,
That's what I do.
definitely.
And then for dessert, I probably have to get a sundae or something when I come back.
What kind of sundae?
Just the traditional sundae with vanilla, chocolate sauce on it, cherry
Okay.
on top, the banana in it. whipped
Okay.
cream.
Okay, so a banana
Sprinkles.
split or a sundae?
It's a banana split sundae.
It's a
like,
banana split sundae?
For
Okay.
me though, I call it a sundae, but it's banana split or whatever. Air quote.
Okay.
If
You
I
were
added
right
more.
on the meal.
What?
Uh,
your opinion's not gospel. You're not Jesus.
I'm not.
Uh huh. So I was right.
Okay,
enough.
so
Yeah.
yes, on the corn dog, the best corn dog I've ever had, is at Disneyland.
Oh yeah, I agree with that.
Have you had
Disneyland.
that
Yeah,
one?
yeah. That's what I was thinking of when you
God,
said that.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. That is. Oh man, I don't know.
Shout out to Mickey. All right, make sure you
Yeah.
endorse our sports podcast.
I don't know what.
Replace ESPN with ours. I appreciate it.
If if you want the perfect corn dog, buy it at Disneyland.
For sure.
Okay, and number 4. Oh, what's dessert? What'd you say?
I said Sunday.
Sunday.
Banana
Okay.
split Sunday.
Okay.
Extra whipped cream.
All right. I'll go cinnamon roll on that. There's not really.
Cinnamon roll. That's not really dessert to me. That's more like a
Really?
morning side thing. Because at work, that's what we give
Okay.
on I think Wednesday.
I don't think there can be really a wrong
Cinnamon
answer
rolls.
for dessert.
Yeah,
you
there
know,
can.
th-
If you say a vegetable or something, that's the wrong answer.
Vegetable
I'm gonna
for
have to
dessert.
give a little smack. Yeah, right on the forehead.
Something, a deep fried vegetable.
Yeah, if you
Okay.
have a vegetable, no, that's not
deep
dessert.
fry it so it can taste
Sorry.
better.
Yeah,
All that fried food.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised that wasn't mentioned. All right.
exactly.
What's your favorite sports moment?
My favorite sports moment when the 49ers lost the Chiefs. Just kidding. It was when
Such a
LT
D-bag.
when LT got the record. I'm talking about
Ooh,
LaDainian.
yes,
When
yes.
LaDainian ran in and I'm trying to remember his name. The fullback. Oh, O'Neal. I think his name was O'Neal.
Leslie O'Neal. No,
Or
no, no, no.
Lorenzo
That's
Neal.
I'm
Lorenzo
thinking of
Neal.
the
Yeah, yeah.
defensive end for.
He's one of the best fullbacks of all time, by the way. I'll argue with
Yeah,
that.
he had-
He blocked for LT most of his yards.
He did.
So.
His blocking was amazing, but
was-
his
he was
hands
supposed
were
to
good
block.
for nothing.
I know.
Yeah,
he was supposed to block for LT on an HB dive for
Uh-huh.
the record. He trips and falls, so
Oh,
LT has to bounce the run
of
off
course.
left, barely gets to the pylon, and then he has the record, and the whole team lifts him up.
And
The whole
that
Chargers
record,
team lifts him up.
that record, which is 31 touchdowns, or maybe it's
It's 29 rushing, and then he had 34 total. I
oh
believe.
34. Okay.
Yeah,
I mean,
because you add the receiving
I
touch.
mean,
He had
has-
34, dude.
I don't think anyone's come close
No.
to that,
No.
right?
That's why I got
Wow.
a little upset earlier when you said, "Oh, LT."
No, I just-
Come on.
Well, I wouldn't put him 10th. I would put him more like 6 or 7.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's no way you're putting him below in the top 20. There's no way. You have to put him
And
up there.
for those of you who want to know what my favorite sports moment is, could you guess it?
The catch.
Come
Come
you
on.
would think so. You would think so, but
that's the one you always talk about. Yeah.
no, for sure. And that
Or
started the
second.
whole
It might be
49ers.
second.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
second.
What's your number one?
Okay, and when I say it, you'll realize it. Joe Montana to John Taylor in Super Bowl 23, driving down the field. I mean,
Is this the one with John Candy in the stands where he's in the huddle? He's like, "Hey guys, see John Candy?"
yeah, exactly.
All calm, yeah, and the whole team looked at it and huddle like, "What?
Yeah.
This guy's so calm." Joe Cool, right?
Joe Cool.
It's like, oh,
exactly.
is that John Candy?
Yeah.
And then they went down and scored and won. Like,
They did.
that wasn't the draft day movie, by the way.
Oh, was it?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what they talk about that drive. Let's go Browns Super Bowl. Woo!
All right,
Super
and then I
Bowl.
saved the last question.
Prophetic.
Yeah. All right, here we go. You get to choose one of the four of these.
Oh
Okay?
boy.
Okay. You can make it disappear. Okay, ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. I'm going to read all these four choices, and then you tell me which one you choose, okay?
Okay, to disappear. Okay.
To disappear, right.
Okay.
Or to make better, or
Oh,
whatever.
to make better.
Eradicate, make better. All right.
Okay.
Peace in the Middle East. Free your people in North Korea. C, end racism in the United States. Or D, no more starvation in Africa. You can only choose one.
Can I make an addendum to D?
Sure.
Can I change to no starvation in the world?
Oh,
'Cause
no. That'd be too easy. No. Definitely not. Because then
I'm
you would...
still gonna choose D because there's so many starving people in Africa.
Okay.
But lately it's been starving children in India because they've actually their population growth is actually
Oh, in India?
outpaced Africa. Yeah.
Oh,
India.
wow.
So there's more starving children in India now actually. So I'd say India and Africa. Yeah. Because starving
Okay, you
children, that's a no-no for me. The rest we can solve as adults.
Okay.
The starving
That's
children
true.
thing,
That's
no.
true. I mean, peace in the Middle East, is that ever going to be
And the North
resolved?
Korean thing and the racism in the United States.
Yeah, those are all things. But
We
the
can-
other
we
thing
can
we could
figure it
actually
out.
do something about. That I like that
starving
answer.
thing, yeah.
I was going to give you a hard time and
Oh,
be
no.
like, oh, I can't believe you don't want to free your, fellow Korean brothers.
I'm American, first of all.
I know,
I'm
but
just,
you're
I'm just
you're-
Korean
you're
genetically, but I
Korean.
am American.
Okay,
Thank you very
all right,
much.
all right. But that's where you. But that's
Starving children. We
Okay.
can't have that.
Okay.
Because we have plenty of food. We just don't have the distribution methods. It costs too much.
Yes.
If
okay.
only we had the infrastructure,
all
we
right.
could do it.
No,
See?
that was well answered. I thought I had you cornered.
Nope.
but
I'm too smart for that.
Yes, you are. All right, so good job answering those 5 random questions. We're going to step outside of football. I know that's mainly what we talk about, but I'd like to talk a little bit.
I mean, we are the sports truth, so
right.
any sport.
So we're going to spread some truth on some Major League Baseball, some NBA, and also a little NHL.
Let's go Padres.
Yeah. You know what? I was shocked when I saw that the Padres were ranked number 2. In my whole life living here in San Diego, I honestly don't think the Padres have been in the top 5, maybe top 10.
I mean, they're spending money now.
They are spending money. I mean, we
Yeah.
went from like a $65 million payroll to, I don't know what it's up there right now.
100
but
million plus easy.
Is it?
But it has to
Nice.
be with the amount of talent they have.
And there's always talk like, oh, we're going to spend money and and it's just all talk. But it's definitely, I mean, at work, there's a bunch of Padre fans. They are so excited. I follow baseball, but I wait more till the playoffs.
Yeah,
Then
playoffs are fun.
They are. So ranked in the power rankings, you had the Dodgers, who had won the World Series last year, and the Padres at number 2.
That's crazy.
It is. The Dodgers right now, they're having some issues and have had multiple losses. Their bullpen they're injured. So, I was talking to a Dodgers fan asking him, and he was pretty cocky at the beginning of the season. It's a long season, so we'll see what happens. So far, from what I've seen at the Padres, and I watch a lot of it because it's always on at work, they've had some nice, exciting wins. They were down 7-1 to the hated Dodgers and came back and won 8-7. I think it happened like only 0.07% of the time. Like once you're down 7-1,
Once
whatever.
you're down like 6+, it's pretty much over.
Yeah, it's pretty much over.
But
Yeah.
they came back and won because it's the
They-
new Padres guys.
It is. And you
The
know what,
power
Padre
Padres.
fans? Give this team a chance. There's such great players on there from Tatis. I love his energy. I mean, we actually have a full rotational pitching staff. While in years before, we might have had like 2 starters, and then everybody else
kind of was meh.
Yeah, I mean, then they put in the rest of the Padres pitching staff together to be able to squeak out a season.
How about the hitters?
Oh, the hitters. I mean, from Tatis to, what is it, Cronenberg?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. I haven't been this excited since Tony Gwynn was around.
Yeah, for sure. There's definitely an excitement in the air. The funny thing is, even though the Dodgers and Padres are ranked number 1 and number 2, do you know who the current leader is in the NL West?
It's the neighbors to the 49ers.
Yes,
the Giants.
Giants, exactly.
Don't you like the Giants? Because you like the Niners?
I do. I mean, winners of 3 Super Bowls, 3 World Series
yeah.
in the 2010s.
They're going to pitch it to the end zone. Touchdown!
Yeah, I'm sure all that will change. We're only at 20% into the season.
Yeah.
But, man, a Padres-Dodgers game, it's just, they've been great series so far, and the Padres have held their own. So to all Padre fans out here, is an exciting season.
Kind of like, oh, look, Chargers and Padres. Wow.
Whoa. Is that a possibility that the Padres win the World Series this year and the Chargers win the Super Bowl?
Oh my
what
God.
are the odds
of
that? Could you figure that out statistically? What is it?
I do. The odds are like 0.5% that it happened. Yeah.
So it's a lifetime. 1 in a billion.
I'm going to have to eat my shoe now.
Okay. I know. I should say that. Okay, if they win, then you do this.
Yes.
So, I'd almost eat my shoe if both of them were to win.
To make it to the championship.
Hell, even one of the two, you know. But I see both of those teams going to the playoffs, and we'll, which is pretty good considering they're the Padres and the Chargers. All right, moving on to the NBA. The playoffs are just around the corner. There's only really 3 teams in each division, or each conference, I should say. Conference, yeah. So in the East, you have the Bucks with Giannis, the Freak. I don't want to say his last name. Yonono Tokobuto. Something like that. I don't know.
Never say that again.
Exactly. I think I might have said a bad word
just
in there.
Just say the fullback's last name for the 49ers.
Come on, say it.
What's that?
The fullback's name for the 49ers.
Oh, no.
Say his, come on,
dude,
come on,
that's
say
even
his last
harder.
name.
No, it's something.
You already said the other guys.
Polish, Szejewski.
Nope, say it.
Yeah. He's called the Juice.
The Juice.
Yeah, so I'll stay with that.
Back to basketball.
I lost a little bit of my train of thought. Okay.
It's okay.
So those are the 3 teams in the East. The Bucks. Doc Rivers has done an amazing job with the Sixers. And the last team are the Nets, that if they could ever get their 3 players to play at the same time. They played 7 games together all season, but Kevin Durant is probably the best scorer, this aside from Stephen Curry. Kyrie Irving, one of the best point guards of the new generation.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And James Harden, since there isn't really pressure because it's not all on him. He's sharing that responsibility. I think they could do a lot of good. So Steve Nash, it's yours to take the Nets all the way to the championship.
No pressure.
One team that I've left out of here are the Lakers. They are in a bunch of trouble. I think they're at the number 6 spot. If they fell into the 7th, then they would have to play what's called a play-in game, which is a new playoff adaptation. So what it is those teams from 7 to 10. I don't know what I said
7
there.
to plan.
Yeah.
They got to go on a plane, fight on the plane, push each other out the plane without parachutes on. Whoever survives last gets to go to the playoffs.
Pretty much. Sure, I'll take that diagnosis.
Of course.
So yeah, LeBron James, maybe age is catching up with him.
LeBron's the only one they got, really.
Yeah, and of course Anthony Davis too, but he's been injured. It is tough. So I've never cared for the Lakers. I don't know what it is about them. So I would love if they had a play-in game. Lakers 1 game against Golden State.
Oh man.
Yeah, Stephen Curry with his 40 points and his 8 3-pointers and his half-court 3-point shots. Oh my God, that would be the best sports moment of the year so far. So sorry, Lakers fans. I mean, you've won enough. Let somebody.
You've won enough.
Let
You sound like a Patriots hater when Brady was with the Patriots. You won enough, Patriots.
Yeah, I know, but I like. I mean, there's always haters on the Patriots or Brady
Or the Lakers.
I always appreciated Brady. I'm not a Brady hater. I mean, how could you hate
The GOAT.
the GOAT? 7 Super Bowls, soon to be 8. Pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure it's 99%.
Yeah. And last is the NHL. It's good to see that there is still some UFC in the hockey. I saw a highlight the other day of it was near
Boxing, yeah.
this thug. I guess he's done it like 6 or 8 times. Was just punching this guy in the back of the head. He doesn't get suspended, and then that team, when they were interviewed, brought that out, and they ended up getting fined $250,000 for saying that this guy should be reprimanded, which he should have been. I mean, it's one thing if, I mean, I know fighting's
It's part of it.
It's part
Sport.
of it,
Yeah.
but man, you can't be punching people in the back of the head.
Just ask the Canadians. They love it.
Yeah, I mean, you have sticks, you have blades that are super sharp that will cut your throat. I remember several years ago, one of the goalies had his, what's the main artery or the
Jugular.
The jugular, and it was just spewing blood.
Yep,
So
you gotta cover that real quick.
yeah.
Sorry for the graphic. We should have had a graphic warning. Sorry about that, children.
And we're going to leave you with the top 10 power rankings after the draft.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
See if I agree with these.
Okay, should I start at 1 or should I start at 10?
10 to 1.
10 to 1?
I'll say my opinions on each one you say.
Okay. Number 10, and they've fallen from the top 5, are the Packers. I mean,
I agree with that.
Yeah. I mean, Aaron Rodgers wants out. He
Probably gonna
hates
sit out.
the GM. I mean, if he sits out or is traded and you have Jordan Love, oh my God, that is not good. I mean, the Packers might fall all the way into the territory of the Lions. Okay.
Yikes.
Next at number 9, and maybe you'll agree with me, maybe you won't. I don't know where you stand on this, but I got the Chargers.
I agree with that. If Justin Herbert stays at his 30-plus touchdown production, they can make the playoffs.
Absolutely.
It's all on him, though, because if he starts to mess up, then no playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, the best thing that Telesco and Brandon Staley could have done is get one of the best tackles, the left tackle, to protect Justin Herbert.
Yeah, he's a stud.
Yeah, he is a stud. I mean, a strong arm, a hard guy to bring down. There's still, I mean, they got some nice wide receiver options. I'm still wondering who their running back is. I mean, Austin Eckler is a receptions running back. He isn't.
They're just going to throw it.
I guess
Almost
so.
all the time now.
I mean,
probably.
if I was, I mean, I love the draft of choosing their offensive tackle, Rashawn Slater. Was that what it was? Yeah, I believe so.
You always keep
I know.
having to check.
Asante Samuel Jr. is probably my favorite pick from him, and then Chris Rump too. But somewhere in the mix, they should have got, I mean, either through free agency or through the draft. I mean, yes, build the offensive line to protect the Chargers. Justin Herbert, he's got his weapons, but any team that, and the running back is devalued in this time and age.
Yeah.
But like I said, Bills were one running back from getting to the Super Bowl, and I think the Chargers still need to address that issue of running back. All right, at number 8 are the Colts. They have some rising players on both sides. Darius Leonard. They have one of the best lines in football, even though their left tackle did retire.
Yeah,
so
it's unfortunate.
Yeah, they need to address that because you saw what happened with Carson Wentz when he wasn't protected.
Oh, yeah, it was a disaster.
It was a disaster. Yeah.
Carson Wentz going to be good, though, with the Colts.
I think so, because the Eagles were a mess. They were pulling people off of the street. They were having injuries. They were, seriously. Some of those running backs
It's like that
they
one
had.
movie.
Which one?
The one with the Eagles, when he's the Eagles returner.
Oh, yeah.
They literally had the
Invincible,
tryouts.
right?
I think so. It was something like
Yeah,
that.
with Mark Wahlberg.
Yes.
Yes,
So
yeah.
literally, what you just said for
Yeah.
the Colts.
Reich worked with Wentz when he was with the Eagles. So,
Yeah, it'll be fine.
yeah, I think the combination is going to work. I mean, if they had somewhat of a successful season. I'm not sure if they won 10 or 11 games with the Colts last year with Rivers. I know they
Yeah.
made the playoffs.
Yeah, they won 10. I think.
10?
I
Okay.
think it was 10.
Yeah, so I think if you can do it with Rivers, who is probably the most immobile quarterback that was playing last year, or at least one of them, then with Wentz having some of that mobility, good things can happen. And their only real competition are the Titans. The Jags are in a rebuilding project,
You
a
think
3-year
the-
plan,
You think
and the Texans are a dumpster fire.
You think Trevor Lawrence will dominate the AFC South for the next 10 years?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean,
Okay, you heard it here first, guys. So when he becomes Ryan Leaf, we'll
Oh,
come
yeah.
back to this and make.
yeah, I mean Trevor
Milton eat his own
Lawrence
words.
is.
I'm kidding.
I think he's a can't miss prospect.
Yeah.
You have Travis Etienne, his running back, who he's played with these last couple years.
Yeah.
So there's a lot to look forward to with the Jags, but it is gonna take some time.
It's Colts and Titans for now.
Colts and Titans, yeah. Two-way race. At number 7 is the Dolphins.
The Finns, huh?
Yes.
Good choice.
Yes. I mean, strong drafts, an awesome coach.
And Tua.
And Tua, yeah. So a young, promising nucleus. I love what they did. They gave Tua Jalen Waddle, who
Yeah.
was probably the best wide receiver prior to him getting injured. And then Devontae Smith took the torch and ran with it and won the Heisman. But they picked up starting right tackle, and they got a nice edge rusher. So the Dolphins...
Finns
They-
fans should be excited.
Absolutely. They're a threat to the Bills. I still think they're maybe a year away. Oh man, I don't know. Do you see the Dolphins ever overtaking the Bills?
2 or 3 years.
Yeah, at least a couple years,
Depends.
right?
This Tua stays healthy though. If he gets injured again,
Yeah, that's true. And he has had a history of being injured.
Yeah.
Okay. At number 6 are the Ravens. They added a second wide receiver, and
Like you said, they should have a wide receiver.
oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
they
they listened
needed
to
and because their number 1 receiver, who's like Hollywood Brown. I mean, I know that's his nickname. Mark
Brownlee.
Brown, right? Or no?
Is it Marquise Brownlee?
Marquise? I
Yeah,
think
Marquise
Brown.
Brownlee,
Okay,
yeah.
I'll call him Hollywood Brown.
Hollywood.
just to
It's
play
called
it.
Hollywood.
Yeah. And they also got a nice edge rusher. They're always plugging in people in that front 7 and doing really well. It really is going to come down to Lamar Jackson. I'll give him props that he did win a playoff game against the
Finally.
Titans. Not, yeah.
The choker. Remember when he against the Chargers the first year?
Oh, yeah.
The Chargers beat them.
I mean,
Field
that was his
goals.
first year, so
Still,
you got to give him a
he
little
didn't
bit.
look good at all.
No.
Man.
So, and then they lost a tough one to the Bills. They easily could have won that game. I'm not sure.
But the Bills know how to stop running teams because they're a running team.
Right,
Sometimes,
right,
yeah.
exactly. So that's the problem with the Ravens. If you stop their running game,
That's
then
it.
they're forced to pass. And so far, the jury's still out on Lamar Jackson. But I'm sure he wants to have a great season because he's playing for a big contract. So however well his season goes, that'll determine how big his contract is.
Yeah, all of his money. Yeah.
Yeah. Number 5, and this isn't a bias, this is just where I think they should be, are the 49ers.
Bias. Yeah. They're obviously 20th because every other power ranking.
Oh, yeah. I
including
saw that
ESPN
in
said
one
20th.
ranking where they were the 20th one. Oh, my
What?
God.
Yeah.
What were they thinking?
They're not.
I think they got the quarterback of the future. I think it was one of the few remaining pieces to the puzzle. So we will see. They're definitely headed in the right direction. Everyone's going to come back from injuries. Their defense is going to pick up where they left off prior to last year.
So we think they're
I think they
divisional
win
playoff.
yeah, divisional. I think they win the NFC West.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I mean, they're number 5 and in the top 10, but I would have completely dropped them out of the top 10
If you had Mac Jones.
if I had no chance. But it's not. They're a team on the rise. This next one is one of my favorite teams. Buy stock on them. It's the Browns.
Super Bowl.
Yeah, a couple years ago
Draft
when
day
they were
prophecy.
Yeah, a couple years
the
ago
movie.
when they had the Browns. Oh, they're going to the Super Bowl because they have all these awesome players on paper.
Yeah.
But
Now they're for real.
they are for real. Yeah, you could
Scary.
start off with their offensive line. They have beefed up. They address the secondary both through free agency, picking Troy Hill from the Rams and John Johnson the third as their safety.
Yep.
And then they picked up some more players through the draft. So I think going into the season, the Browns have a top 5 offense with those dual Pro Bowl running backs of Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb. And then you add the wide receiver, Odell Beckham
Jr. Yep.
So
OBJ.
what do you think on that? Do you think that it improves them? Do you think that it's... What's your take on Odell Beckham? What's he going to do for the Browns? Is he going to hurt them? Is he going to help them?
He's helped them so far. I mean, he's just gonna be OBJ. He's always good at catching and running.
Yeah.
He's still gonna be remembered for his famous one-handed catch behind his head.
That was an amazing catch.
It was, but it's overplayed too much. But yeah.
Right.
So
I don't think he's going to be whining as much, because there's always... He's obviously a diva. But when you're winning, you're not spewing as much...
Toxicity.
Thank you. Great word.
Yes, I'm very good at English.
Apparently you are. But it's going to be a tough race because you have the Ravens who are in that same division.
And the Steelers.
And the Steelers, who they made a mockery of last year. What would they have? 28-0 before crushing them?
28-0. It was embarrassment.
Yeah, the Steelers have owned the Browns for years now.
Browns got back. Revenge.
Oh, yeah. That was... what's that thing when you get it off your chest? Or that burden that they were carrying.
Yeah. Burden off their shoulders. Yeah. A release. Relief.
Right.
Yeah.
For sure.
It was. I was laughing pretty hard too in the first quarter. 28-0.
I was surprised. Not shocked, but just a little surprised. At number 3, you have the Chiefs.
Yeah, that's a safe bet.
Yeah, I was a little down. I was a little down on them. Maybe a little bit of Super Bowl hangover, but when they did the forensics on the Super Bowl massacre, what they ended up finding out was that their O-line was a complete mess. I mean, they were missing 3/5 of their O-line, including both of their tackles. So they addressed that. They got Thuney, from the Patriots,
yep.
who was the best available guard. In the draft, they traded their 31st pick for Orlando Brown Jr., one of the best left tackles that the Ravens didn't want to pay or couldn't afford.
Yep.
And I believe not Kyle Young. I don't know who the hell Kyle Young is.
I was like, what?
No, Kyle Long.
Kyle Long, yeah.
Out of retirement. So I think they're pretty... And they also, through free agency, picked up a center. That center quarterback, he's calling out all the blitzes. He is such a key part of the offensive line. Oh, yeah.
Again.
Yeah, they're a threat again.
AFC Championship contender.
Yeah, I mean,
again.
I wanted to... Earlier I said that I thought the Chargers were going to win the AFC West, and they still could, but man, the Chiefs
probably going to win it.
They probably are. Sorry, Charger fans, but the Chargers are still going to make the playoffs. And I think they split the series with the Chiefs and the Chargers.
Okay.
Yeah, because even when the Chargers were one of the not so good teams, and the Chiefs were at the top of their game, the Chargers always give the Chiefs issues. They push them to the end.
It's always close.
It's always close. I mean, they should have beat them last year if Anthony Lynn, instead of going for it on 4th and inches in the middle of the field in overtime.
Yeah, pick the punt. Yeah.
Yeah, he punts to Patrick Mahomes. That's almost as bad as Matt LaFleur going for a field goal and giving it back to Tom Brady. They're both bonehead moves. Don't give it to Brady. Don't give it to Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, don't.
Go for it. Have the huevos, as they say in the Mexican culture. Okay, number 2 are the Bills.
Yeah, saw that one coming.
Yeah, with their first 2 draft picks, they picked up some nice edge rushers. Why do you think that they picked up some edge rushers?
They saw what happened in the Super Bowl,
Mhm.
and they realized if you don't get pressure on Mahomes or anyone else like that, you're not going to win the Super Bowl.
Absolutely. That is 100% correct.
Because the blowout.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I might even have the Bills at number 1 had they got a stud running back. But since they didn't,
It's you know who.
You
the
know
GOAT.
yes, the Bucks. I mean,
The
how
Bucks.
you return all 22 players? I mean, I got to give it up to the GM, Jason Lick.
I think his name, yeah.
Lickney or something like that.
And the coach.
Yeah, and the coach. I mean, they all got together. Even Tom Brady was like, "Sure, I'll give you some of my money back and just keep me for a couple years." I mean, even if they pay Brady when he's not useful anymore, he is giving them
A boost, like morale. Morale lift.
Yeah. I mean, they built the team. I mean, I'm sure Aaron Rodgers is like, why can't I be treated like Tom Brady, where he comes into Tampa and they give him Gronk and they give him Antonio Brown and they got a top
Leonard Fournette.
Yeah, they pick up Leonard Fournette that nobody wanted.
Who destroyed people in the playoffs. Yeah.
That left tackle Tristan, I forget what his last name. Something with a
Yeah,
W.
and then the defense, the linebacker core of the Buccaneers is probably the best in the NFL.
Yeah, so I mean,
It's ridiculous.
the 7-time Super Bowl winner, was showered with talent and
Here's the
gifts,
answer.
and Aaron Rodgers is like, man, couldn't you 2 years ago have just given me a second wide receiver so that
No. Jordan Love.
Jordan Love, let's have him sit on the bench and not play for a couple years.
Yeah.
or-
You want to know the answer
Uh-huh.
to your question? Why Aaron Rodgers didn't get that? Because and the Bucks gave Brady everything
Uh-huh.
because the Buccaneers wanted to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I guess so.
The Packers didn't want to win the Super Bowl.
They did.
Obviously
And
not.
when you kick field goals and they're only worth 3 points instead of going for the touchdowns, which could be worth up to 8 points,
Yep.
if you get the 2-point conversion, then yeah. And that's what it comes down to. I mean, you're right. Bruce Arians is one of the best coaches in the game.
Because he wants to win.
He wants to win, and his reputation precedes him. He won with the Colts. He won Super Bowl with Ben Roethlisberger, and
Yeah.
I mean, for him to get Tom Brady, I mean, was almost not fair. It took him a while for the chemistry to come together, but by the end of the season,
Oh my God.
they
yeah.
were just rolling over people, and then, I mean, they had a couple close ones in the playoffs prior to the Super Bowl blowout. But I know, I mean, most people are going to be like, no, it's the Chiefs because Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback of all time.
But
Well,
offensive line, though, if you don't have it,
Yeah,
you
and-
lose the game.
Right,
The
right.
Super Bowl will be
I mean,
forever
honestly,
remembered after
and
that.
people were like, well, if the Chiefs had both their tackles and had their full offensive line, they would have beat the Bucks. No, you're wrong. They wouldn't have beat them because that front seven was so much better than the Chiefs. The Chiefs struggled all last year to get to their wins. So Chiefs fans or sports fans out there,
Bandwagoners.
writers, yeah, don't give me that crap, okay?
It would have been closer, though.
It would have been closer for sure.
Yeah,
I mean,
it would've been a
it would have been
blowout.
it would have been 3-point loss instead of a double-digit
Laugher.
loss. Oh
I still
man,
laugh
how I
about it.
enjoyed it,
Yeah. Revenge.
Revenge. Yeah.
There's no jet chip wasp on this one. It was more like horizontal phone booth throw that the guy should have caught, by the way. Mahomes was
Oh,
so
yeah.
upset he didn't catch it. Props off to Mahomes. Like, hats off to Mahomes. Like,
Yeah,
my
I mean,
God.
he did everything he could. He was
Literally
not the
everything.
reason that they lost. He ran for 500 yards in
yeah.
that game.
With turf toe, by the way.
Oh yeah, his turf toe.
Oh my God. Yeah.
So I think the turf toe bothered him.
yeah.
Obviously Andy Reid dealing
With the
with
son thing.
with his son thing. Yeah, he's
Ugh.
gonna spend some time in jail now. So
Yeah.
that's sort of the dark clouds that are looming over the Chiefs. I would go to a good therapist if I was Andy
Yeah.
Reid and say, how can I focus on football when one of my sons several years ago died of a heroin overdose, and then my other son maimed a 5-year-old girl, which she has brain damage and can't walk, which is so sad. I mean,
Very
I
sad.
like to make jokes of everything, but that is definitely not something that should be taken lightly. So I think that will and that's part of the Super Bowl hangover, having to deal with this. But I'm sure Patrick Mahomes will be able to overcome any of the adversities that he's dealing with right now. And so far, whoever did it, the GM or Andy Reid or even Patrick Mahomes himself, And that's the thing I like about the Chiefs. They go to Patrick Mahomes and ask him how he feels about things. For poor Aaron Rodgers, and I keep on bringing him up. I mean, he said that, I like this wide receiver. Cut. Oh, can we get a wide receiver in the draft? No, we're getting a corner. Can you fire the a-hole GM?
No.
So I can say here, no. I mean, one of the best quarterbacks, and you're supposed to treat your quarterback like a king. Treat him like Brady. And they don't. So I don't see the Packers going to the NFC Championship with Rodgers or without Rodgers or with him. I think the damage is done.
Yeah.
He's not playing with that chip. He's playing with resentment and anger, an injury here or a better team beating them. It's just...
So the Packers organization rather have their pride in being right.
Right.
And losing out because...
I want to throw this out to the Bears fans out there. I mean, if for some reason Rodgers sits out the season or is traded or even happens to play...
You're taking it, the NFC North. It's yours.
No, I'm saying that
Justin Fields.
Yes, I'm saying like after the Andy Dalton experiment, and then Justin Fields comes in and does his
damage,
manage, and if they repaired the defense enough, there is an outside chance, and that's all it is, of the Bears winning the NFC North, which I believe they did 3 years ago when they were 12-4.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, so to Bears fans out there, obviously it's not the Lions. They did a nice job of rebuilding the trenches because that's what Dan Campbell, being a former offensive tackle or tight end or whatever he was.
Yeah, and Anthony Lynn likes to run the ball, so
the
Lions want to running.
I mean, think of this conglomeration of you have Goofy Goff, you have Anthony Lynn as your offensive coordinator who's run heavy.
Yes.
And then you have Dan Campbell who wants his linemen, whether offense or defense, to when they're down there bite the kneecaps off of the opponents.
Players, yeah.
Yeah, so that just sounds...
That's weird.
And
the Vikings?
Skull. Vikings. Oh, man. They'll do just well enough to float around 500, but...
So it's the Bears versus the Packers. Is that what you're saying? Two-way race again?
Oh, I mean, the Vikings. I'm trying to come up with the best case scenario.
6-10.
No, I mean, Kirk. Let's go that they go 9-7
it's
or
Kirk
10-6.
Cousins.
I know it's Kirk Cousins.
I don't care what it says. He's bad.
Okay, he is so bad in primetime games,
and they keep re-signing him.
They keep re-signing him, but you know what? He has two nice weapons in Adam Thielen and Justin Jefferson.
Yep.
Dalvin Cook is probably one of the most explosive running backs when...
He's got offensive line.
Yeah, he's got offensive line, but the point on Dalvin Cook is he's the most explosive running back when he's not injured. So you count...
It's always injuries with you.
Yeah, it is. I mean, the best ability is availability, right?
Oh, so you're saying Junior Seau is one of the best then?
See,
look, you're eating your own words. Look at you. No. Look at this hypocrite. You've heard it here first on Sports
He did
Truth.
Have nice longevity. I mean,
there you go. That's all. No, stop. Remember what your mom said.
Okay.
Only say nice things. If you have nothing nice to say, don't say it all.
Now that I've covered the issues that I've covered, do you have any questions for me or comments or?
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay. You know, I gotta know. I gotta pick your brain a bit. Your top 5 kickers of all time. I have to know who you think are the top 5 kickers.
Oh, that's
and
a
if number
good
one isn't what I think it is.
Okay.
I'm taking your football card. Right, number 5. The top 5 of all time kickers.
Okay.
Number 5.
Wow. See, when you said you were going to throw me a curveball,
yes.
I'm like, okay.
Oh, I threw a knuckleball, buddy.
Absolutely. That's definitely a knuckleball because it threw me back a little bit. I think when I was up there at bat, you might have hit me in the hands. So
exactly.
I get to walk to first base. Well, I'll just start with obviously the best kicker of all time, and then I'll cover the other 4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Number 1 then.
Number 1 is and to be the top kicker
of all time.
It's not the percentages I'm worried about.
It's the biggest kicks.
It's the biggest kick because Nate Kading was one of the most accurate kickers of all time.
And he choked
but when the playoffs, I mean, he missed like 3 against the Jets.
He did miss 3 against the Jets, yeah.
And he missed some against the Patriots. Yep. Like, oh, man. The best...
So who's number 1 then?
Okay, So insane
of all time.
Of all time.
Yeah.
You got to just okay. How do we grade quarterbacks?
Super Bowl rings.
Super Bowl rings, but even to get those Super Bowl rings, clutch, right?
Yes,
the Montana,
clutch.
The Brady, the Patrick Mahomes, and so on and so on.
Yeah.
So the clutch kicker
the clutchest
that
kicker of all
started.
time.
Okay, if Joe Montana, the Dwight Clark started the 49er dynasty,
yes.
then not Tom Brady, but Adam Vinatieri started the Patriots dynasty. Okay.
Okay,
yes.
I'll give you that. Number
he
one,
won a lot of those
Vinatieri.
Super Bowls. It wasn't Brady early on.
It was
Brady
the field goals at the end.
It was the field goals at the end. Yeah, and then he
missed.
Went, he went to the Colts and finished off a nice career. So that's the easy one. Okay,
number two.
I'm not sure if I'm going in any particular order, but you got to go with Justin Tucker.
Really?
Yes. I mean, he's at 90%. I don't think he's ever missed a huge field goal. He's definitely a weapon. A lot of teams, they focus on the offense and the quarterback and let's score so many points or a harassing defense that's going to cause turnovers. But everyone short of John Harbaugh always forgets about the special teams. Kicker is important. A lot of times it comes down to a field goal game. Also in that special teams, add punter. They pin you down. Field possession is real important. Kick returners, punt returners. So I got Adam Vinatieri. I got Justin Tucker.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm going to go old school on this next one.
Yeah, let's hear an old school 49ers one.
Yeah,
I know you're biased.
Okay,
I was waiting for you to put
and there's
the 49ers
some kickers
number one.
like Mike Kofer, which 49er fans know who I hated. But you got to go to the one bar mustache Ray guy. Okay, he was part of. Yeah, I mean he was part of those. Joe Montana to Dwight Clark in the end zone, but that didn't officially win the game against the Cowboys. You needed Ray. You needed Ray Guy to kick the extra point, and I know it's an extra point, but still,
he missed.
Nate Kading would miss it.
Oh, we know.
Yeah. So I'll go Ray Guy to those.
Number 3.
Yeah, okay. Number 3. Number 4 and 5. Wow. Could it be a top 3?
Nope.
No.
Nope. You told me.
Okay.
I threw your knuckle duster right to your face, right in the nose.
Oh man.
I think it might be bleeding a bit. Here, let me get you a napkin.
It is.
I'm
rarely stumped, but
I got him, guys, ladies and gentlemen. We got him.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with top 3. I can't.
I have a number 4 for you.
Oh, do you? Okay, fill me in and help me out with number 4 or 5. I will let you know if that is the correct answer or if I agree.
Okay, for 4th.
Yeah.
Dang, I try to remember his name for the one after Vinatieri for the Patriots.
Oh,
Gostkowski.
You're right. Yes.
Gostkowski.
Yes.
I think he got 2 more Super Bowls. I think.
Yeah. Gostkowski.
Yes. Gostkowski.
He's still playing. I think he's on the Titans. But yes,
I think he is.
I mean, to replace a legend in Adam Vinatieri and keep the kicking game going, and every once in a while he'd miss one, but he never really missed the important ones. So yes, Steven Gostkowski as the number 4. Okay, and let's
number 5.
Yes.
I always forget his name, but he was on the Raiders. I'm trying to remember his name, and he was really big and tall.
Oh, Janikowski.
Yes, Janikowski for me, because it's not just the kicks; it's his personality, like how big he was, and he always talked crap. You could never talk crap to that dude. He was huge.
The funny thing
and
about
always hit the big.
He had a leg on him, and he played for a long time.
And he was a Raider, so
he's
he
a
had
Raider.
A mean streak.
And did you know what round they drafted him?
What?
The first round.
That's how good. See, what did I say? Top 5. There we go. If you disagree with us, let us know in the comments.
I just was like, oh my god. I don't care if a kicker was the best of all time. I still can't imagine drafting one in the first round. I wouldn't even.
It's the Raiders, dude. Remember, we already talked about this.
Their weird first picks goes back a ways. Okay.
But yeah, that's it. So.
Okay, so I hope that. I mean, we've covered.
Pretty much everything.
Pretty much everything. Next week we will talk about the NBA playoffs. There's only about 6 teams that can potentially win it, but I think it's going to be one of the more exciting years. I'm sure there will be something interesting in the NFL. Maybe next time this week we will be talking about where Rodgers is going. I think there's only really 2 potential teams he could go to, supposedly the Raiders and the Broncos.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're telling me He's going to go to the Raiders or the Broncos, which are both in the AFC West, and then
Against
Rodgers
Mahomes,
has to deal with
Herbert.
Mahomes and Herbert.
And Herbert.
Oh, no. I think the perfect spot would have been to land with the 49ers, and had the Packers been smart about it, they would have taken the 49ers' third pick. I would have taken one of their good defensive players and maybe a second or third round picks.
Little side note, though.
Yes.
The Cardinals. I give you a C- on your draft grade. It was an F when you took that linebacker, but it went back to C- because you got that wide receiver in the second round. I'm trying to remember his name.
Maybe it's just you have to look at the right draft being graded. I saw in one where they were the number 1 ranked team in the draft. So, I mean, I thought that was interesting.
This is from a Cardinals fan, okay? We don't listen to ESPN Mickey Mouse.
Oh,
okay.
whoa. Let's not fling arrows here. We don't want them coming over
I'm just
here and shutting
truth.
us down.
Yeah.
Well, yep. We're getting the fresh take on here, not the first take. And with that, I bid everyone a goodbye.